So I hope to answer this question eventually, but I want this video to be a more general response to people like you who love Bashar and think that I am a Bashar hater, which is not the case. I have done a video in the past addressing the specific question. It is called No One Can Steal Your Spirit, and the essential message is that whatever insights and wisdom you have gained from Bashar or other teachers, I cannot take that away from you. I am just here to offer my opinion. That said, I dare say that my opinion is an informed opinion. I have been a member of the New Age movement for over 3 decades, and I just finished writing a book about the New Age movement and its ideas that is called New Age Wasteland. It is focused on the dark side of the New Age because what I have found over the years is that the New Age movement is not very good at examining its own shadow. It is very focused, I would say overly focused, on love, light, and high vibes. By contrast, I am very interested in a grounded spirituality, and I'll talk about what that means in a moment. I am coming mostly from a Buddhist perspective. That has been my spiritual home over the years. And so to me, grounded means grounded in direct personal experience, not trusting the authority or the opinion of some external authority. Also grounded in my body, of course, grounded in the earth by extension. And I believe that we are called to really pay attention to the earth at this moment and not do 5D ascension and all that kind of stuff. And also grounded in science. Turns out it is actually a key component of the New Age movement, this idea that science and spirituality are compatible. This idea goes all the way back to a guy named Emanuel Swedenborg in the middle of the 18th century, who believed this, and ever since then, teachers that have encountered a conflict between science and spirituality, most New Age teachers tend to go with the spiritual side of things and say that, well, this information is only accessible through meditation or exists on some higher plane or whatever, and so just disregard the science. By contrast, I am somebody who believes in the science and will go with the science whenever the available evidence outweighs the spiritual side of things. I don't believe that science will answer all of our questions. I don't believe it's perfect, but I do believe it is the best system that we have to reach a shared understanding of reality, and the emphasis on shared, because you can believe whatever you want, but as soon as you say these things are real, you have entered the realm of science. So, for example, when Bashar talks about ancient aliens and Atlantis and all this, he is engaging in conspiracy theories because there is no actual evidence for these civilizations to exist physically somewhere. So the problem with that is that conspiracy theories are not benign. They're often very dangerous and can very often lead to violence and unaliving of people. Additionally, conspiracy theories also contain elements that are also quite bigoted. Many of them are anti-Semitic, and in this case there is a subtle racial undertone because a lot of the teachers who talk about these ancient alien conspiracy theories say that some of these early visitors were white, and the implication is that black and brown people who lived in the ancient Near East at the time could not have been so intelligent as to build the pyramids and so forth. So that brings me to another point, which is that my critique of the New Age is also coming from a left progressive perspective. And this is one of the reasons why I have a problem with the law of attraction stuff, because it is politically regressive. It aligns with the values of the far right, which tends to ignore all systemic issues and systemic institutional racism and all kinds of stuff like that. It assumes the kind of level playing field that really doesn't exist in real life. Furthermore, the law of attraction stuff is also very cruel because it blames the victim. It says that everybody is responsible for the good things that happen to them, but also the bad things. So what does that mean if you have a terminal illness or something like this, or even if you're a child who's being abused or raped or whatever, somehow there's an implication that it's your fault. My other problem with Bashar is that he is really into this idea of the new earth, which I believe is a horrible teaching. It is steeped in delusion and disengagement and dissociation and denial and all kinds of things about our current ecological crisis. It is kind of a fantasy that we're just going to get a new earth. We've trashed this one, so we're just going to get another one. It's kind of a new age rapture. So it has these evangelical ideas. So I think there are many aspects to it that are just profoundly bad. So I guess the bottom line is that I don't hate Bashar, but I do believe that a lot of his ideas are bad and sometimes even toxic and possibly even dangerous in some instances. I think that in the final assessment, I think that his teachings are, at the very best, they are distracting people from the pressing issues of our time, and at the very worst, they are leading people astray.